Hey friends, I'm here today with my special guest star. This is my daughter Jessie. For those of you who have been following my channel for a while, you know I have a 27-year-old raft guide daughter. She's a raft guide in the summer and a ski instructor in the winter. So on my last video, I asked you guys if you had any questions for her to go ahead and shoot them in the comments below. And Jessie is here and she is going to answer some of those questions for us. So let's jump right into it since I got some awesome questions, you guys. So Tom Hyde wants to know, how important is it for a parent to let her daughter be herself and find her own way in life and to be supportive of her lifestyle as much as possible instead of trying to force her to be a certain way?
I mean, pretty important. It's definitely helped me. Maybe if I was trying to rob banks, not so much. But, you know, in general, everyone's going to be an individual and want to do their own things, and you can't really force somebody to do something that doesn't make them happy. I think she had a video of her at Little Niagara. That definitely set the tone for a lot of what I do now. And then she came and helped me when I did roll my van, and she's even gone rafting with me before. So I'm definitely really lucky to have that support, and it's definitely helped a lot.
Awesome. Dan, over at Home on the Sticks, he's got a question for you. He is interested to know how your arm was positioned when that feller landed on it in that raft.
Okay, so I'm going to mirror everything so that I can use my good arm. When you're rafting, a lot of the time, when you take a stroke, then you go back and then you grab the strap behind you. It's called a boof stroke if you're going over a waterfall. We went over the waterfall backwards, so my hand was in front, like this, landed just like that. So my hand was like that, and he landed right there.
With his elbow, or what part of him landed on?
I think his shoulder, because he was a little bit above me. He doesn't even remember hitting me. It's just that when you do it backwards, your hand can bend. But when you go over it with grabbing the front, your hand doesn't bend the same way. So it wasn't that he landed with his whole body. It was just the position of it really was
So it was just really a fluke accident.
It was really a fluke.
Wow. Vicki Van Gogh has the next question for you. She wants to know what your favorite river has been to run and why. And if you want to go ahead and answer that, I'll continue on.
Someone else asked a similar question. I was going to come back to that then, or?
Okay. And she also wants to know what's next in a rafter's career.
So she asked travel or rafting, owning my own company. So the thing is, the owners don't get to go rafting. If you're ever at a raft company and you want to know who the most experienced one is, it's probably the bus driver. Not kidding. So I'm actually trying to get higher up in my ski career, go for a management position there and make a little bit more money in the winter so that I can continue rafting as a guide and keep my skills up right now. Ultimately, I might go another route. I do have an outdoor education degree, so I could own a company, do something like that, or do something more traditionally teaching. Right now, I want to keep rafting and work my way up in the ski industry. It's also really hard to own a raft company for a couple of reasons. There are water rights issues. My river, they take a lot of water out in Colorado, so it's a bad place to start a new raft company, for instance. And permits are really hard to get.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah, a lot of legal stuff there.
Exactly.
So LC also, she said ditto on Vicky's question. So thanks for chiming in there, LC. I appreciate you. The next question comes from Gear Gridden 19. And he wants to know what kind of tent you have, because you spent a lot of time in your tent this year.
So when I'm at a raft company for an extended period of time, they often have some sort of a more legitimate structure, and you don't need as much of a tent. Vicki Van Gogh helped me make a backpacking tarp, actually, but it performs as a tent. And it's a really high quality one. We named it Optimum. It's a very optimum tarp. So when I'm traveling to do different rivers, I'll use that one. So it really depends on where I am.
Well, that's cool.
It's a great tarp.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It took us 40 hours to make it.
And how long have you had Optimum?
A long time, 5-6 years.
Yeah, because you used it for one of your hikes, didn't you?
The Colorado Trail, yeah.
Colorado Trail. Okay, very good. By Route 00, she wants to know, is there an exercise or warm-up routine that you follow before going out on the rafts? And do you wear protective gloves or any kind of life preservers?
So, warming up, loading and unloading rafts. Big part of my day, 120-pound rafts, it's awesome. We do a safety talk for our guests We always do that, make sure everybody's comfortable before we get on the water. Gloves we might wear in the winter, but not usually, and I always wear a life jacket or a PFD. I also have a helmet. We all carry knives, whistles, and ropes. I also want to encourage everybody, if rafting is not your thing, you don't have to go over a waterfall. We do everything from float trips up to class 5. So if you want to just enjoy the scenery and see some more of these really cool ducks that are behind us on our river, you can do that too.
Yeah, I've actually done that. I've done one of the easier ones with her, and I've done one that had a couple rapids, but it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, there's trips for everybody. It's really fun.
So the next question is from the Mad No Matter. He wants to know, did you think about doing anything for Bridge Day when you were at the New River Gorge?
My first year working on the Golly, I had a trip on the New River on Bridge Day. So instead of having lunch at our normal spot, we just went downstream to the bridge, had lunch right there, and got to watch everybody jump off the bridge for about half an hour. So if you want to do a New River trip, I'd recommend going on Bridge Day. It's really cool.
Man, that would be so fun.
Oh, it's awesome.
That would be so fun. What a treat for the folks on your boat.
Exactly.
Didn't know that was even a thing.
Yeah, well, a lot of them do, but some of them are like, what is this?
Right. So I'm going to read Chaos Paddler's question here. He says, has she ever met Pat Keller or Shane Benedict? They are two pretty awesome people in the industry. And the other question is, will she take me down the Golly on a raft with her? If not, will she lead me through it in my kayak? I want to go through Pillow Rock. And he also wants to know if you've heard of Liquid Logic. That's his kayak company.
So one of the owners of a raft company in New Mexico is a Liquid Logic gear rep, which means he has a full stock of the Liquid Logic kayaks, and people rent them to demo. So I'm pretty familiar with them. Pat Keller and Shane Benedict I had to look up, and they are on Team Liquid Logic. Particularly Pat Keller has been boating right near me a lot, so we've probably been on the same run on the same day, but I don't think I've actually met them. They're really impressive from what I've seen, and I'd like to at some point. With the Golly, yeah, if you want to follow me down in a kayak, that'd be great. Carnage is fun, but I'll show you how to try to avoid that for sure.
That's great.
Yeah, more boating friends, the better.
So Morn's Wanderer wants to know, does your daughter have an interest in mountaineering? He lives in Ireland and he adores hill walking there, and I love watching his videos of him wandering around on his hills, so he wants to see your perspective of that.
I love mountaineering, and it's something I need to get back into. I mostly do 14ers in Colorado, but I don't always take the easiest route up. It just depends on what I'm trying to do with that trip. And there's been some really, really great ones. I took an interesting route up Kit Carson, which was a lot of fun. And my first mountain, it wasn't true mountaineering, but at the end of the John Muir Trail, we summited Mount Whitney, which was my first time being above the clouds. And at this point, I've done about 26 of the 14ers in various routes, and I want to do more of that. And I would like to do Denali at some point.
Yeah,
mountaineering is awesome. Oh yeah,
I know you really enjoy it.
Yeah, it's great.
The next question is from Pilot Diana. She said, ask her, what does she remember of the best time you two had together? Any funny stories?
There's too many best times, trips to Disney World, New York, California, but there's one that I'm going to tell you guys. We decided to draw directions and times out of a hat, and so we had no idea where we were going to go. So we packed the car for all possible scenarios. My mom comes up and she's like, the car's empty, what are we missing? And I'm like, well, the toaster. We're missing the toaster. So we brought the toaster, we put a smiley face on one side, frowny face on the other side, ended up the capital of Austin, so there we are walking around with the toaster and a backpack in the capital, all the way to the beach, to New Orleans. We called it the Directionally Challenged Road Trip with the toaster.
It was so much fun. That was awesome. One of the best trips ever.
It really was. Toasty had a lot of fun too.
Yeah, we still have Toasty. He hangs out in the kitchen to this day.
I was going to bring him today, we forgot.
I'll see if I can throw some pictures in of him though.
Perfect.
All right. The next question comes from our good friend Ford Van Man. He would like to know if you carry a rapid air, and if not, why?
So this is something I actually had to look up before this video. It's not something that I've been taught in Swiftwater or that I've actually heard about at all, but looking it up, it does look like it has potential, and I am going to ask the Swiftwater professional about that. Some thoughts that I had based on what I learned is for kayakers. They use it a lot to practice rolling, so they go upside down and they roll back up. Rafts don't do that, so that's kind of not necessarily as applicable. So generally, if I can't catch a breath, I'm in such a situation. Imagine that you throw yourself in a washing machine and you're getting chundered like that. Now take the washing machine and throw it down a cliff. So you're probably not going to be able to get to the but I'm still going to ask the Swiftwater guy because it has potential, especially in a situation called undercuts. So that's something I'm going to continue to look into.
I love the washing machine analogy. Makes your mother feel better about what you do for a living.
Oops.
Our next question comes from C. Wright. A lot of times we just call her C. Dub. She's really cool. She wants to know, what has been your favorite river to run and why?
My favorite river is the Rio Embudo, and I'm kind of obsessed with it, actually. It's about 5 minutes from where I live in New Mexico, but it had only been rafted once before, and it had been rafted by guys that live in Colorado. I thought it was really weird that nobody in New Mexico had really done it before. It took me 2 months to plan it, but I did a really successful, really amazing trip down it. It's granite. You don't find granite much in New Mexico, and it's very continuously quality. Some rivers are easy and then hard, and then you got to carry the boat around rapids. This one's just fun all the way through, continuously the same amount, and the roses are really pretty down there.
That sounds awesome. So you're going to raft that one again?
Yes.
Yes. All right. Cool. Next question is from Mia at My Life Now. She wants to know, how much fun did you have growing up with your mom?
Some people's fun scales only goes 1 through 10, but ours is at 11. That means it's one higher. It's one better than 10.
So, yeah. I wonder how many people.
I don't know.
What was the name of that movie?
Spinal Tap.
Oh, yeah, Spinal Tap analogy. There you go. So I've got one more question, and it comes from Flint and Steel Survival. He wants to know, did you have nightmares about Kiss? And he also wants to know what your favorite campfire meal is.
Well, I really liked cats, so I dressed up as Peter Criss for multiple Halloweens. Not one, multiple Halloweens. So I would say no to that one. I didn't have nightmares. I also went to 3 Kiss concerts in the 5th grade. It was really fun. And then favorite campfire meal, I like a lot of the same stuff I eat at home, but we can do pretty good campfire pizza that I really like a lot. So probably that.
Very good.
Yeah.
Well, Jesse, thank you so much for letting me do this interview with you.
Thanks for having me.
Sure, and I hope you guys enjoyed getting to know my daughter a little bit. I'm so proud of her for following her dreams and having such a great and adventurous life. But be careful out there, honey. Stay lost, my friends.
That was fun.
Yep. So, Jesse, Tom Hyde wants to know, how important is it for a child to let her...
To let her mother do what she wants.
All right, hold on. Take 2. All right. I'm real proud of you.
I'm real proud of you too.
I'm real proud of her.